Today, it's really easy to get into a mode which I call catastrophe thinking. This is when we go to bed, for example, and lie down and think about one of our problems. And then suddenly we find ourselves cascading through all these reasons why nothing's ever going to be all right. And in the end, we've gone from that initial problem to everything in our world falling apart. That's what catastrophe thinking is. And a lot of people do that these days. And if you think about it, it's because a lot of the things that we see are quite catastrophe driven. You turn on the news, for example, or open a newspaper, and there are lots of negative symbols and suggestions that really hit our subconscious. And unless we're able to navigate that in a way that's healthy for us by compartmentalizing some of those things and seeing that that's not how the world really is in our own experience, it can become quite overwhelming. Dealing with catastrophe thinking is essential if you're going to have a healthy, happy mindset. And it really comes down to thinking clearly about what actually is happening in your world and how you can respond to that happening. So when you go to bed at night and you're worried because your manager wasn't happy with some of your work, it's really easy to go from that position to, I'm going to lose my job. And that's terrifying. And it feels overwhelming and we don't know what to do about it. But if we say to ourselves, my manager's really not happy with my work at the moment, and then you give yourself a list of positive things that you can do to change that, the thought stops at that point. So you have the thought and you create a solution. And in that moment, you don't have to worry anymore. That's the difference between what we would consider thinking rationally and realistically to thinking in a catastrophic way. And it's really about your mindset. So if you are one of those people who's really struggling with overwhelming feelings of not being able to succeed, whose life feels like it's out of control, chances are you are a catastrophe thinker. So from today, do a thought-stopping process. When you have the initial concern, I want you to really concentrate on what that concern is genuinely about. So if it's your relationship, then focus on the element that you're concerned about and then create immediately some obvious solutions that you can employ to mean that you don't need to go further with that thought. And remember, really in life, things are never on the whole as bad as you believe that they are. It's really important to have that positive mindset, because then you're in control and you really can deal with your problems in an effective and succinct manner.